Hi, Sequoia here. Today I'll show you how to paint this soft misty style of painting without using a hairdryer or heat tool. For materials you'll need a substrate. I'll be using this already stained Nara 10-inch round. Then you'll need an ink blower. I'm literally using a sauce bottle that was part of a set I got at the dollar store, but you could use a camera dust blower, Ranger ink blower, or any other squeezy type thing. Then you'll need a metallic. I recommend brass by Jacquard. And then you'll need 99% isopropyl alcohol. And of course your inks. Choose whatever colours you like. I'm starting out with Stratospheric Blue B69 by Copic, and later I decided to add in BV17 Deep Reddish Blue. To start with, add a puddle of isopropyl alcohol onto your page. I'm starting where the ink stains are. Start to move it around using your ink blower. The goal with this composition is to have it darker in the centre and then fading out to white near the edges. So to do that, add your ink drops near the centre and add more isopropyl alcohol near the edges. Just start off with a drop or two of ink and then add more as you go, otherwise it can get a bit too concentrated too quickly. Use your ink blower to push the inks back and forth so that they form a smooth fade. Use small gentle puffs of air to push the inks around. This will give you more control and prevent ink splatters. This is when I decided to add a second colour, so feel free to do the same. Just make sure to pick colours that will look nice together when they blend on the page. If you pick similar colours, they're more likely to make a nice colour when they blend together. So for this technique, aim to have a thin layer of isopropyl alcohol on the page. If it's a deep puddle that keeps moving around a lot, it will continue spreading and then might even change some areas that you are happy with. So try adding isopropyl on the page and then pushing that around with the ink blower before you add the ink. Then add a drop of ink on one side and continue pushing it back and forth like you were to get a smooth fade. If some areas dry, just reactivate them with more isopropyl if you want to create a fade in that location. That's what I'm doing here. Keep an eye on the inks because they will keep moving. So here you can see that I'm working on the left side and the right side of the page at the same time. Just kind of monitoring how they're moving and then seeing if I want to adjust it with the ink blower. By not using a hairdryer or heat source, it takes longer for the alcohol to evaporate, which means you have a longer working time. This lets you push the inks around until you're satisfied. I find it's good practice for me to slow down, be patient, and enjoy the process of just watching the inks move around and mix on the page. Make sure your colour doesn't quite reach the edge of the puddle of isopropyl, as that would form a noticeable outline of colour instead of letting the inks fade gently from colour into white. By pushing the inks around as they dry, you get a really nice wispy effect, whereas if you leave them alone to dry, they would form a smoother fade. Now that I have this roughly symmetrical curved shape on the page, it's time to work on the bottom section. You can see here I've added isopropyl to reactivate some of the ink in the center, and then I'm pushing it down towards the bottom of the page so that it fades to white there as well. Now that we have a base of color on the page, it's time to start adding the metallic. I'm adding brass in the same way as the inks, just make sure to shake it well first. So you put a drop near the center and then push it back and forth to form some nice patterns. Like the inks, I'm trying to concentrate the brass near the middle of the page, as it will contrast nicely with the darker colors there and create a focal point as well. It is optional, so if you don't have any metallic, that's no problem. I think this effect would also work really well without the metallic. There are a few benefits of working with this technique. Firstly, you can paint outside, which is awesome because it doesn't require any electrical tools like a hairdryer, and there's a nice airflow so that if you didn't have a respirator mask, at least you're not inhaling so much of the alcohol fumes. I think this technique is also really good for beginners because the inks move slower than with a hairdryer, so it can be easier to control where they go. This actually gives a similar effect to when you use a straw, but is a lot safer because you're not inhaling the alcohol fumes, and there's also no added humidity from your breath. Also, depending on the ink brand, some inks will bleed new colors when you work with them slowly like this. For example, this blue and purple, when they're mixing together here, are bleeding out a bit of pink. If you like the effect that this gives, it can really add an extra dimension to your painting. But if it gets you by surprise, then it can sometimes be a little unfortunate if it doesn't bleed a color that you like. So I do recommend swatching all of your colors before you use them in a big painting. Don't be afraid to rework certain areas like I'm doing here. The first time around we didn't use any brass because brass is a bit harder to rework, but now that we have that first base layer of color, we can add plenty of brass and keep reworking different sections until it looks the way we want. So that's pretty much it for this technique. I will speed up the rest of the process because it's pretty much more of the same. One note is that if you're working in a warm location, the alcohol will evaporate faster, so it may be harder to get the misty effects, but just keep adding isopropyl to keep the inks moving around. As you continue painting, add your second color wherever you think it will look nice. I'm trying to keep it so that there's a bit of purple and a bit of blue in each section of the page. So you can see I have a bit of blue on the edges and now I have more purple in the center. But yeah, there's totally no rules for this. It's just whatever you prefer. You could also do a painting with a lot more coverage. I liked the negative space on the page and the kind of effect of it fading into white. This technique is also good if you're working in an area with high humidity because you're aiming for a soft, gentle effect with no crisp lines. If there's some texture from the humidity, I think you can kind of get away with it in this style of painting. It might just add a little extra visual interest, but it won't kind of ruin it. Whereas if you're aiming for very crisp lines, then the extra texture added by humidity can kind of be a problem. So do keep that in mind. If you work in an area with high humidity, definitely give this a go. It's a lot of fun and you can probably work with the textures to create some nice effects. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you decide to paint something kind of with this technique, I would totally love to see it. So please tag me on Instagram or like send me a message or something. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say. I guess sorry it's been so long since my last YouTube video. But I am once again aiming to do it more consistently. Just gotta practice that time management, you know. But yeah, if you have anything you'd like to see from me, do let me know as well because I will do my best. I will leave it at that. Have a most wonderful day and I hope that you're enjoying the summer weather. So yeah, thank you again for watching and goodbye.